Hello students and Assalamu alaikum. Today we'll discuss the concept of scale of operation and other concepts which are linked with it. And this is actually the last part of this chapter. So when we say that the business is able to increase its scale of operation, what does it mean actually? It means that the business is able to increase all their factors of production. Okay, so it's not about increasing the production. Okay, as you can see, it's about increasing the scale of production. Whether now you have more capacity to produce the same goods as a business. So if all four factors of production are now in greater capacity to be used, so obviously it means that business is able to increase their capacity as well. And that is what we call scale of operation. So in simple words, we say a business is able to increase its scale of operation only when the business is able to increase all its factors of production. So it is not linked with production only. Like a business can hire more labor to increase production. So in production is increasing, but scale of production or scale of operation is the same unless and until the business increases all their factors of production. All right, so now let's discuss the various concepts which are actually linked with this concept. Definition, we discussed it. So increasing the scale of operation, I just explained you that, and the concepts which are linked to it are economies of scale and diseconomies of scale. So economy of scale can be internal and external, and same is the case with diseconomies of scale as well. So let's discuss economies of scale first. What is this concept all about? So internal economies of scale actually are the advantages which are available to a business which is able to increase their scale of operation, right? And these are the advantages which help business to reduce its average cost. Average cost means cost of producing one unit. So this is actually because of the ability of that business is able to reduce its average cost. But this is only possible when a business is able to increase their scale of operation. Otherwise, it won't be available. Huh? We discussed about it. So why we are saying internal? Because it is available to only one business. So in an industry, one business might be able to enjoy that benefit or a number of benefits, which actually are helping business to reduce its average cost, but they are not available to other businesses. That is why the word internal is there. So we are going to discuss those advantages which are available to one business, which are helping that business to reduce its average cost. Okay. And they are limited to one business. First is purchasing economies. Now, a business is so big that they're able to buy in bulk as far as raw material is concerned. Okay. So when they buy raw material in bulk, they usually get discount from the supplier. Okay. Because supplier also relieved from dealing various customers. So only one customer is enough to take all the goods from them, or at least majority of the goods from them. So that is why, because producer is relieved from the tension of dealing so many clients, that's why a discount is offered. And that discount helps a business to reduce its average cost, because now the business is able to get the raw material at a lower cost because of that discount. Okay. Then we have technical economies of scale, and that means a business is large enough that the business is able to afford latest equipment, machinery, technology, right? And because of that, now business has higher productivity. We discussed about CAD, CAM, right, earlier. So here now, with the help of more of machine, the business is able to produce more. Maybe less workers will be required, so wage costs can be saved as well, right? Similarly, machines are less likely to make mistakes, so there'll be no cost of rework. Okay, so all will help business to reduce their average cost because of that. But again, a smaller business is not able to avail that because those businesses may not have sufficient amount of capital to buy latest or advanced equipment. Okay, then we have marketing economies. So again, businesses who operate on large scale, they are able to enjoy that as well. And that is, they might have their own transport, own vehicle, and they can easily get the goods from the supplier easily and conveniently. Yeah? So one thing, they do not have to pay the rent of that vehicle, right? Because now they own that vehicle. Secondly, the goods will be available at the right time. Okay, because if the goods are delayed, because for example, if a business is hiring a truck and that truck delivers the goods late, and at that time there is no customer because now the customers have bought it from some other shop, for example, or from some other business, because customers do not wait for long. If they do not get the good at the time when they require it, they get it from some other business, especially in a market where there is competition there. So when you will have your own vehicle, it means that not only rent of the vehicle will be saved, you will be able to deliver the goods timely to the customer as well, and then those goods will not go waste at all, because you will keep it in a warehouse, and because the goods are delivered late, in the earlier example I gave you, if you hire a truck and now the customers are not willing to buy from you because they have bought it from somewhere else, so those goods can go out of shape, they can go out of date as well, and then it involves cost. Okay, because outdated products will not be bought by anybody. But in case the goods are delivered timely because you own your vehicle and they deliver the goods at the time when they are required by you, so it actually saves your cost, and that helps business to reduce its average cost. Similarly, if I talk about managerial economies of scale, it's about hiring expert, experienced, and skillful managers. You know that they actually charge much, but they are cost effective. Now, cost effective means whatever salary you are giving to them, they are actually providing you the benefit a lot more than that. Okay, so their salary actually does not matter to you, but it is again available to businesses who operate on a large scale, because it's not possible for smaller businesses to hire an expensive manager. But those managers, they know cost saving techniques, they know how to use resources in the best possible way. Okay, so that is why they are able to save costs. Like for example, they know how to motivate workers, for example, and with the help of motivation, the workers, they become more productive. Okay, they focus more on their job. As a result, quality of the product is much greater than what they were getting earlier. And workers are less likely to less likely to make mistakes as well, right? So it means, and now there will be fewer customer complaints as well, because the goods are they are getting, it is of the required quality. So again, no return of the goods at all, because obviously after using, if customer they give it back to the business because it is not up to the mark, so obviously that is a cost for the business. So now, because of those managerial economies, because the managers are so expert that they manage resources so well that everything is up to the mark. The quality of the goods, okay, the way the human resource is being used, even the equipment is being used. So this all in all saves the average cost of the cost of the business. Now moving on to external economies. Why we are calling external? Because here, yes, businesses will be able to reduce their average cost, but not because of their own internal ability. It's because of industry being large. When I say industry, what does it mean? It means all the firms who operate in it. Like for example, if I say car industry, so it includes all car manufacturing businesses, right? If I say clothing industry, it means all businesses which actually manufacture clothes, right? So if industry is expanding now, it means that maybe now there are more number of firms which are entering that the market. So it means industry is getting big, right? So the advantages which are actually enjoyed by all businesses which are part of an industry which is actually increasing, right? So, and they are able to reduce their average cost. So we say this is external economy of scale. So in simple words, external economy of scale are the advantages which are enjoyed by every business which is there in the industry. Do remember that. It's not available to only one particular business as compared to internal economy of scale. It is enjoyed by everybody because the industry is getting large. More number of firms are coming in. Okay, let's discuss them one by one. Access to skilled workers. Okay, now because now there are so many firms there, so skilled workers, they know that they will get an opportunity somewhere. If not in one business, they can get it in another business because there are so many business together at one place, for example. So skilled workers actually see more opportunities there in that locality. So they try to reside nearby. So that becomes easier to find skilled workers. Otherwise, you know that if skilled workers are not available in the near vicinity, you have to hire them from, let's say, from another city, okay, or another country. So they may charge much because now they have to leave away, like they have to be very far away from their family, right? Okay, going to another country or to another city. So obviously they'll demand much higher salary or wage, or they have to relocate as well, along with their family as well. So this all requires more expenses as well, more money. So that's why it will be expensive to hire skilled workers. But when there is external economy of scale and industry is so large, so skilled workers, they automatically try to live near to that place because they know there will be lots of opportunities there. So that's why, because now they are so near, that's why they might not charge much salary because now they are not relocating from one country or one city. So it becomes cheaper to hire them. All right. And skilled workers, you know, they are more productive and they save cost of the business as well, resulting in lower average cost of all those businesses which are present there in that industry. Then ancillary firms, these are the firms which are smaller ones, okay, but they support large businesses. Okay, they support large businesses. And when these smaller firms, they know that there is one particular place where there are lots of, let's say, car manufacturing and smaller businesses which actually manufacture spare parts. Okay, so they try to locate nearby. Why? Because they know that sooner or later an order will come from the large businesses to manufacture certain spare parts. Because large businesses, they do not actually manufacture every single part of their car. So they actually, the right word is outsource. Outsource means that they do not produce it using their own resources. They actually ask smaller firms to produce some of the parts. Okay, so a certain job is done by smaller businesses. Okay, so it becomes easier for smaller businesses as well, that now they can give it to the smaller firms, and those smaller firms, as far as that particular job is concerned, let's say spare parts of the car, they might be better or efficient in producing that. Okay, so smaller firms, they take advantage of those abilities of the smaller firms producing those small spare parts at a lower cost, and they get it from them. And why it's easy? Because there's no transport cost involved in it, because now they are actually locating very nearby to that place where there are lots of large firms there, and ancillary firms know that they will actually get orders from somewhere. If not from one firm, maybe some other firms will give them the orders. So that's why, again, this is an advantage, and it will help the business to reduce their average cost. Because in certain jobs, smaller firms might be more efficient. They might know cost saving techniques better than the larger firm, because the focus of the larger firm is to actually assemble that car. So if there are some smaller tasks which need to be performed before the car will be assembled, so they can give it to the smaller firm who can perform that job in a much better way, leading to lower average cost for larger businesses as well. Then we have joint marketing benefits. Yes, this is also possible that all those businesses which are locating nearby, or they are in one industry, they can join hands to go for a marketing campaign. For example, if businesses who actually produce milk products, for example, okay, the main ingredient in their product is milk, so they can actually spread awareness about the milk products, and they can say that this is a wholesome product and people must buy it because it is healthy. So people who are actually conscious about their health, they may start buying those products. Okay, and for that they can come up with a magazine, for example. They can come up with an advertising campaign as well through TV, radio, newspaper, or they can come up with with a magazine as well, which can spread awareness about using milk products. Okay, so it may help. Uh, Actually, it will help all those businesses which are there in that industry, because all those firms, they are producing milk products. So it will help out all the businesses. So in the sales will increase, and the fixed cost of the firm will be spread out in a greater number of units. Like you know that if you have a factory and you pay rent of the building, doesn't matter whatever you produce, you have to pay that rent because that is a fixed cost. You know that. But if you produce more, that fixed cost will be spread out in more number of units. Okay, it will be spread in more number of units, so resulting in lower average cost as well. So that is actually the advantage of that that marketing campaign, or that is what we call joint marketing benefit. Similarly, improve infrastructure. Yes, I'll give you a very simple example. Let's say there is one shop in one area and the road is very rough. So the government might not take care of it, because obviously the construction of the road or maintaining transport facility will be the job of the government, because private people do not do it because it is unprofitable. So, but now more shops are being opened over there. Now, let's say earlier there was only one shop, now there are um, let's say 20 shops, but now make it 50, 100, 200. Now it means that because of so many shops, there is so much customer traffic as well. So now government start thinking that because there is a lot of traffic jam because of road being rough, and because it is now becoming a hub of a certain product, let's say cell phones or a shoes market, for example. Okay, so people visit that area and they really have a trouble in accessing that place. So government can build a road over there as well. They can improve that transport network over there. So it will help businesses as well. Now they will get their goods timely because road is not rough. So their goods may not get damaged. Earlier, their goods get were actually, because the road was rough, so they do receive their goods late as well. But at the same time, the goods might not be in the same position as well, because the road was not up to the mark. So now they will get the goods timely as well, so that they can deliver to the customers, and at the same time, the goods are in their original shape as well. So this reduces the average cost of the business as well, because the goods will not be. You know that you hire a truck and the goods are delivered to you, and some goods they are broken or they are not in their original shape. So obviously it is part of that activity. And you say, all right, now what can we do? Because the road is rough and we require the goods. If some goods are not in their original form, or they are broken or they are out of shape, so you have to discard it and you have to just throw it in the junkyard. So that will increase the cost of the business. But now, because the road, or that because of improved transport network, a road network, now that can be avoided and cost can be saved as well, so leading to lower average cost of the business as well. Then we have similarly diseconomies of scale. So economies of scale are actually the advantages which are linked with a firm size being large or the industry size being large, right? Internal and external economy of scale. Here, we are talking about internal diseconomy of scale and external diseconomy of scale. Diseconomy of scale are the disadvantages which are linked to a business being large or an industry being large, right? And because of that, the average cost of the business increases. Okay, so it is actually the reverse of economies of scale. These are the disadvantages. Okay, when you try to increase your scale of operation, you actually experience certain disadvantages which increases your average cost. Now see, communication problem. Okay, yes, when industry is so large, when the business is large, they are not able to communicate properly to their workers. Okay, because now manager cannot deal all the workers in the same way, like personally meeting customers, because now there are hundreds of customers. So the customers might not get the instruction properly, and they uh, might make mistakes, and that make mistakes may result into higher average cost as well. Okay, similarly, you have lots of shops in many parts of the country, and you are not able to deal the clients in the same way, because maybe the workers are not trained in the same way, or the worker, they do not get the instructions from the management properly, because of the size of the business being large. And because of that, customers get annoyed, they do not buy it, and then the cost of the warehouse will increase, because now you have to keep the goods for a greater time period in the warehouse, because you are not able to sell it quickly because the customers are not buying it because of that communication problem as well. So this is quite possible, and that will lead to higher average cost. Alienation of the workforce, yes, because earlier the management, when the business was small, the management was dealing with workers. They were actually meeting them personally. But now, because the industry size, or sorry, the firm size is big, the management does not have time to meet workers individually. And now there is a gap between the workers and the management. Workers' individual problems are not being sorted out. Otherwise, the workers were motivated earlier, because now they were having direct contact with the management, and they can discuss. They were able to discuss all the problems which were there. Now this is not possible, and because of that, we call it alienation. Alienation means the workers start feeling uh, alone. They feel that now they are not the important part of the organization. Their problems are not being heard of by the management. So that leads to demotivation, and they lose focus as well, and leading to poor quality of work. And that may lead to higher average cost as well, because customers may not buy. And again, you can link it with cost of the warehouse, or you can link it with cost of rework, because the quality is not up to the mark, so you have to rework. All right. Then we have poor coordination as well. Now, coordination is also not possible, and because now I think I explained that to you earlier as well, when I was actually explaining the point communication problem. Poor coordination is now there are lots of shops in various parts of the city, and because you're not able to communicate properly because of that, or maybe now the workers, they cannot sit together at one place to actually sort out the problem they are facing. Okay, or they can start feeling that yes, they are part of the same organization, and they need to work on achieving the same objective, because now coordination is not possible. The business size is big, so now all the employees, they will be actually having a tunnel view. Tunnel view means that they will only consider uh, um, uh, their own job. Okay, so now they will not be supporting their colleagues, because business size is big, so coordination is not there happening. So it means that there will be less supportive staff there in the organization. And if there's poor coordination, you can understand. Think about various shops which are there in the business in that city. So they might not be dealing clients in the same way. And clients or the customers might start feeling that now it means that the standard is not the same, because the image will be distorted. Because if you go or visit any shop of the same business anywhere, and you get the same quality of the product, or you get the same quality of service, you will be satisfied, no? And the image obviously will improve. But because of poor coordination, and but it's not that easy. It's easy if your business is small, if you have one or two branches. But if there are plenty, then it's not easy to maintain the same standard of quality, and that leads to a poor image, and then it may increase the average cost of the business as well. Either you need to improve your service, that again requires cost, money, and or the goods will stay there in your warehouse for a longer time period, and that will increase your cost of warehousing. Then, okay, now the remedies, how to overcome potential diseconomies. One is MBO, decentralization. So there are two ways. MBO is management by objective. So now you can actually set a target for employees with their contribution. Okay, you can actually have a meeting with employees, and with their contribution, you can set a target. Okay, this is your objective, and because you have contributed that, and because with the consent of the employees, that target will be set. Na? Like employees will say, yes, we are able to achieve it. And now employees will be extremely motivated. Why? Because they know that in the meeting, they actually uh, told them that we can achieve that. So now they will actually be using best of their abilities to do it. Because now this is not the objective given by the management, because employees can feel, okay, this is the objective which is not achievable, and the management just has given, so this just has given to us for no reason. So this can demotivate employees. But now, because they are contributing to setting that objective, and they have given their consent as well, so they will be obviously highly motivated to achieve that. So even if the management is not there to monitor them, even if they are not able to coordinate, or that alienation will not be there, because now they can show their potential by achieving that objective. Similarly, decentralization is you transfer power to the employees. Again, employees can feel important that now uh, we have been given the power and we deserve it, and management feels that we have the abilities to take decisions. So this can motivate workers as well. Communication problem may not remain there because the managers now do not need to communicate. The decisions will be taken by the employees themselves. So management does not need to communicate all the way from the top level to the lower level. So again, it can remove the problems of diseconomies as well. So then external economy scale, that is, I told you earlier that these are the disadvantages which are linked to an industry being large. So internal diseconomies of scale are linked with one particular business when they increase their scale of operation, right? But external economy of scale, it is linked with the whole industry. So it means it will be experienced by all the firms which are present there. Okay, I'll give you one example. Like, for example, if industry is getting large and it is polluting the environment more, earlier there were only one or two firms there in that industry. So now the government may impose taxes on the businesses or on the whole industry, like let's say. So in that way, all businesses costs will increase because they have to pay more tax to the government, right? Now let's discuss some of the external discounting scale here. Reduced availability of skilled or suitable labor. Because now there are so many firms in the industry and they are hiring labor, so now there is a shortage of skilled labor. You are not able to find the suitable workers because they are already employed in so many firms which are there in that industry. So now what will happen? In order to attract workers, you have to pay them higher salaries, higher wage rate because they are already employed somewhere, or they have many options there in that industry. So when you will offer them higher salaries, it will increase your cost, right? So your average cost will increase. More delivery time due to traffic congestion. Yes, there are so many firms and you are not able to get your goods timely. Okay, or because there is a lot of traffic there, so you have to refuse customers as well. There will be goods which will be stored there in the warehouse for a longer time period. Cost of warehouse will be increased as well. The goods can get damaged as well because of traffic jam. People try to reach their destination quickly, and in order to do that, they may experience an accident as well, and goods can get damaged as well. That can also increase the cost of the business as well. Shortage of raw material. Yes, because now there are so many firms and all are consuming the raw material. Let's say if I talk about textile industry, and now because all firms they are using cotton, and because of to make clothes, so now cotton is in short supply because there is so much consumption of cotton by those so many firms which are there in that industry, and shortage of raw material will increase the cost of raw material. So cost of production will increase. So that will lead to higher average cost of all the firms which are there in that textile industry, right? So that is it. So we are done with the last portion of this chapter as well. If you have any question, you can text me or you can ask me in the class as well. Thank you very much.